Okay, and now we go for our next speaker and last speaker, Gilmar Perviche Neves. He will talk about a synthesis on the dynamics of copepods in the Congo River Basin.
Hello everyone, I will try to show you some results of a project that we finished in the last year. So about the micro and meso crustacean diversity in Africa, there are a lot of large permanent rivers and lakes in this continent probably because the high pluviosity, especially in the tropical region. Just comparing copepods, cladocerans, and ostracods in this continent between Afrotropical and Neotropical region, because, for example, for cyclopods is the close region, taxonomically close region, and we have more species for copepods and cladocerans in the Neotropical, but more species of ostracods in the Afrotropical. So we have a question, is this true, or because Africa is fewer studied? The Congo River Basin have a lot of hotspots environments like Pulo Malebo, and few studies were made at Congo River Basin, and this is the second largest river in the world. Here, just overlapping the Congo River Basin area on Europe, and here on North America. And this is a piece of a large project performed by Professor Alberto Vieira Borges from the Liège University, also with Professor Pascal Izumbicho Mawapo from the Democratic Republic of Congo. There are a lot of collaborators, and here is the boat used in the samplings, our kitchen. 23,000 continuous measurements for 17 variables such as electrical conductivity, temperature, pH, dissolved oxygen, transparency, particulated organic carbon, and dissolved organic carbon, total suspended matter, colored dissolved organic matter, total phosphorus, total nitrogen, bacteria, chlorophyll, phytoplankton per classes, many others. We have had a mini lab inside the boat for these measurements. Just some photos of the samplings, the banks of the main channel of the Congo River, with many macrophytes. Some examples of the mouth of some tributaries, wetlands with fluid forest. Look, this black water. Other tributaries with floating macrophytes. In the more floating macrophytes in the Congo main stem. Our sample maps, sampling map, we performed a gradient, a longitudinal gradient between Kisangani until Kinshasa, the capital of this country, with close to 60 sampling sites. This river crosses the Ecuador line twice, so the differences between the low and the high water level is lower compared with other large tropical rivers. And close to Kinshasa, there is Brazzaville. Both cities has more than 20 million people. This river, this stretch is navigable, but downstream Kinshasa, there are a lot of rapids. We performed a color classification for all sampling sites based on the values of pH, transparency, colored dissolved organic matter, and carbon. And we also made a longitudinal gradient in the Kasai River for more or less 600 kilometers. And in total, we have 156 samplings. In the results, here we have a principal component analysis for physical, chemical, and biological variables. We can see different patterns for black and white waters. The white associated especially with chlorophyll and primary productivity, in contrast of the black ones associated with carbon. For copepods, we can see for richness, channel inner diversity, and K1 index for rarefaction. We found the highest values in the tributaries, especially in the Kasai River and the tributaries of Congo. But for the abundance, the highest median was found in the Congo main channel and the tributaries of Congo. About the total abundance between the water level phases, we can see the highest values were found in the low water phase. Just compare here with Cladocera, the same pattern was observed. Between the relationship of copepods abundance, we transformed the abundance in dissimilarity using Bray-Curtis distance with correlated with the environmental variables using distance-based redundancy analysis. We tried many analyses and none was satisfactory, but we found 4 groups, and the main results is Thermocyclops neglectus relation associated with the abundance of cryptophytes and diatoms, and Microcyclops vericans associated with, especially with the tributaries, and the campaign performed in the Kasai River. For rarefaction extrapolation curves for Copepoda, we will compare with Cladocera, but in the main channel of the Congo River, we have close to 70 species, and the tributaries, the curves are very inclinated yet. So probably we have a lot of diversity to be found. Just comparing with Cladocera, in the main channel of the Congo River, we have close to 40 species, and in all tributaries, all month of the main tributaries, the curves are very inclinated. Probably for Cladocera, the diversity is higher in the tributaries. A little bit about the taxonomy. We performed this redescription of Afrocyclops pauliani and Cryptocyclops falsus. Afrocyclops pauliani was considered extinct, and there was just one record until now in Madagascar. This species was endemic of this island, but now we recorded in the continent. Cryptocyclops falsus was originally described in the Guinea Gulf, and now we extended it to the south of the continent. Just some pictures, some drawings to Afrocyclops pauliani. This species resembles Eocyclops genus. More drawings, pictures. For Cryptocyclops falsus, this species is very beautiful, especially because this wide region in the settle cauda. These species resemble the Microcyclops genus. More pictures. Here, general photos of more species. Here, again, the Cryptocyclops falsus with this large portion in the settle cauda. About diaptomids, this is possible thermodiaptomos or tropodiaptomos, we don't know exactly, but coatation this long endopod of right P5 of male. And the conclusions, we found probably new ecological trends, because the plankton develop within the main channel of Congo. There are few lakes close this river, marginal lakes, and we found in some samples high density. Probably there are patches that come down the river. We also extending the geographical distribution and the extinction of some species, like in this photo. We made the redescription. We are making the redescription of more species and description of new species, probably in the next years. And several publications and catalogs by families or orders are coming for the Congo River and some large lakes as Kivu, Albert, Edward, and Kyoga. And not everything is happiness. We found a lot of pieces of microplastics in the samples. Probably this is a cup bottle and pieces of flip-flops. And if you put in Google Kinshasa plastic, we will find photos like this. I reinforce Jeff speak in the first day about sustainable development. When we found a lot of microplastics in the samples, we warned one of our collaborators, and he said people, especially in Kinshasa, are preoccupied with the next meal, and after AIDS, malaria, and plastic is not a preoccupation. So we need to help us with health care, water clean treatment, etc. So to finish, congratulations to the organizers, to the excellent conference, also to FAPESP, European Council, and Trans-Congo to research support, to our collaborators. Thank you very much.
Okay, we have time for a couple of questions. Are there questions? Jeff?
Well, it's more of a comment, really. I mean, it's a massive task. If you'd asked me how big the Congo was, I would have imagined, half the size of Europe, or less. Mm-hmm. So you have a massive project here, really do. Your sampling, was it nearly all planktonic, or were you taking any benthic ones as well?
Just planktonic using Schindler Patalas trap with a lot of 50 liters filter just.
And I'm remembering one of the very early Copepoda conferences, Sybil Mass and Henri Dumont, they gave a paper on tropodiaptomous, I think it was, diversity in various African lakes, and I was impressed by that, but I suspect you're going to have a lot more new species to add to the ones they found.
More questions? Yeah, Julian?
Thank you very much. Actually, it's a question more related to, based on your experience with this project that actually you have been working in a few years, what recommendations you think you can give us to those that we are working with some of these copepods from freshwater regarding to try to push our research faster? What has been your experience with that in terms of new species, reviewing old species? Yes, what do you recommend?
Well, we spend a lot of time to identify these species. We used a lot of old papers from Kiefer and Lindenberg, the 19th century. And you need to have a good library, firstly. And for the past papers from more than 100 years ago, we didn't have PDF. So we need to go to the libraries. And we need also collaborators in these countries. It's essential, firstly, to enter in these countries and to be safe, especially. And we need a lot of taxonomists. There are fewer in nowadays, probably.
Yeah. Yes.
Just to come back on the comment about the literature, I mean, he was unable to come, but during lockdown and the period after lockdown, Chad Walter at the Smithsonian has scanned and uploaded 53,000 PDFs on Copepods into the Worms system. And because the recent stuff is protected by copyright, they're available. You have to ask an editor, and then you can just download them. So, you know, we should make that more available. You know, there's all this literature is available. It's one click away, and it's a fantastic resource, especially for these old papers from Kiefer and so on. Although, you know, they're not so great, some of them. But, you know, the literature is there and it's becoming easier to get access. So if you can't get it because it's protected by copyright, contact one of the editors because we can just download it and email you the PDFs.
Okay. A short comment, Julian.
Yes, just actually getting a little bit more information about that is if you have PDFs that you want to contribute with, independently of the language, please let us know. You can approach to us, Jeff or me or Jimmy or anyone from Worms. We want those to be able to load them there and make them accessible. But thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you very much, Gilman. Okay, so we are done